Hi, welcome to Yoga for Fibromyalgia. My name's Sarah and this week's class is Yoga for Aching Legs. This class we're going to do some really nice stretches for the front of the legs, the back of the legs, the sides of the legs, and warm up the knee and the ankles. Try and get some blood flowing here and try and relieve some of that pain. So get yourself some cushions and I'll see you there. Okay, so getting ourselves started, lying on our backs, I'm gonna use a couple of cushions to prop my back up here because I'm feeling a little dizzy, and the more props, the merrier, I always say. So get yourself situated. You can prop yourself up like me, or you can just lay down on the bed or the mat. Okay, make sure you're nice and comfortable. And if you want to go ahead and close your eyes, you can do that now. And allow a feeling of heaviness to enter the body, especially from the hips down and through the legs. As we start to breathe in and out through the nose. You can place your hands on the legs or on the hips or on the stomach. As we just take a moment to say to our body, okay, I hear you. I acknowledge this pain, all this pain. I hear you. With every exhale, try and feel yourself relieving the tension draining out of the legs and into the ground. As best you can, just imagine exhaling out all the tension from the knees, from the feet, from the backs of the legs, from the sides of the legs. One more breath here, make it a good one. Exhale out all the tension. Fantastic. We can gently open the eyes and we'll start to warm up through the toes. Fanning the toes super wide and then clenching the toes shut. Be careful you don't get a foot cramp here, sometimes I do. So keep it in between gentle and strong. Oh, I got a bit of a toe cramp. Yeah. I can curl my toes on my left foot more than I can on my right. When I do my right, I get a toe cramp. So something to watch out for. Few more times, warming up the feet. Of course, if you're not comfortable here in the back, go and change your position, or you can even sit up. You can sit up on your bed as well, put your back up against your headboard. Okay, and just wiggle the toes around. Nice. Then let's bring the toes towards our face, ankle bending, and then away. Towards us. And away, towards us, and away. 2 more times. Good, and then inhale, bring the toes towards us. We'll hold this here for a few breaths. See if we can lift the kneecaps up to engage the quadricep muscle. And exhale, push the toes away, point, like we're little ballerinas. Maybe feeling a stretch in the top of the feet and the shins. and relax. Now start to make circles with the ankles going in one direction. Big circles. Imagine you're drawing circles with your toes. Every exhale, we're still draining out that tension in the legs. Move slowly and notice how these micro movements can feel super good. And switch direction. I know with these aching legs, sometimes it feels better just to remain completely still, but then over time, half an hour or more, the pain gets worse and worse and worse and worse. So sometimes we just have to move a bit, get the blood going, get the juices flowing, get the energy moving, and find that we feel better for it afterwards. Good, nice one, just rest there. One more breath in, one more breath out, release the tension. And then we'll bend the knees, bring the feet to the floor. We'll grab the left leg and straighten through the knee and down. I mean, not completely straight if we've got tight legs, tight hamstrings, but just enough that we wake up the knee, up and down. Relax the muscles of the face, relax the shoulders, even keep the arms nice and relaxed. Next time we inhale, we'll keep it there, we'll hold. We can hold here in the thigh, we could hold in the lower leg, and give a nice stretch in the back of the leg. We don't want any pain or strain here, so keep it soft. Mostly we're just using the breath. You can push slightly with the left foot just to kind of support yourself better. You can bring your toes towards your face to deepen the stretch there. Or maybe you want to push the toes away for a stretch here on the front of the leg. And exhale, we'll release. Let's bend the knee, just bring it towards us for a moment. Big hug, I love my body, and release. One more breath here. Exhale out all the tension in the legs. Super. Bending the knees again. And we'll grab the left leg this time, straighten. Lower, straighten, lower, a few times, up and down. Keeping the muscles of the face relaxed. We will push slightly with the right foot. And then we'll hold here. Hold anywhere on the leg that's comfortable. Maybe lift the kneecap slightly to engage the quadricep muscle. Good. Exhale, give your knee a hug. Love my body. And release. Relax the legs. Exhale out all the tension in the legs. Super. Bend the knees again. This time we're going to get a nice stretch on the outside of the leg. So we'll start with the left leg, lifting the left leg up. We can relax the right leg up, relax the left leg down. And allow the right leg to start to fall over to the side. Now it might hover quite far above the ground, that's totally fine. Or if you've got a couple of cushions for the foot, maybe it comes to rest there. And we're feeling the stretch along the side, maybe into the glute. This is a bus stop 1, so we can stay here and breathe. A bus stop 2 would be to carry on the journey. And start to bend the left knee. And maybe we grab the left foot with our right hand and twist slightly. This means we're getting a stretch in the quadricep as well, the quadricep of the left leg and the outside of the right leg. See if that feels okay for you. But I'm trying to keep both shoulders flat as possible. And one day maybe we grab the toe of the right foot. But try to keep everything relaxed, no straining the face, no straining in the arms. And every exhale, we're releasing that tension. Notice if there's anywhere you're holding or clenching, and use your exhale to release that tension. One more breath here. And we'll gently release the hold of the foot if we were holding it. And slowly bring the leg all the way around and release. Important to have a little rest between stretches, I find, because I need that moment to release that tension that I've just accumulated. Because obviously stretching accumulates tension as well, just like running. And we need a moment to let that go. Good. So coming on to the other side now, bending the knees, left leg up, straightening through the right leg, and bringing the left leg all the way over to the side or to a prop. Maybe one side's different to the other, no problem. Feeling the stretch in the side here, breathing. I might use my blocks actually. If you've got blocks handy, put the leg on the block. So bus stop 1 or bus stop 2, we'll carry on the journey bending the right knee and grabbing the right foot with the left hand, feeling a stretch in the quadricep. If it's too much, come away, come off the stretch slightly. I want to be more that you're relaxing the muscle rather than pulling. Every exhale, releasing the tension. Go ahead and release the right foot. And then we'll bring the left leg all the way through and back down again. Have a nice rest here for a moment. And then we'll slowly make our way up to a seat. Big breath. Big breath out. Let's come on and roll over slowly. Couple of breaths here. Maybe give the legs a rub and the glutes. And we'll come all the way up and find ourselves coming into butterfly with the feet together. Woo, knees wide. A little hip mobility. Letting the knees hover up and down. You can hold your feet here. You can hold your ankles, your legs. Little self-massage. Or just carry on doing butterfly. Or maybe you want to slow the pace down, so we're going up and down nice and slowly. Slight lift in the chest so we don't collapse in the upper back. And wiggle, butterfly. Good. Let's bring the knees together and gently we come on the hands and just gently allow the knees to fall side to side. Good. And then coming up, turning around, bringing our legs nice and wide, or as wide as comfortable for us. We're going to bring those props closer and do a wide-legged seated fold. You might like to sit up on a prop. I like to sit up on something. It just lifts my hips, lifts my butt up, and I find it more comfortable. So my feet are flexed. I don't know if you can see now, but my toes face up to the sky or face towards me. I lift my kneecap up, so I'm engaging my quadriceps. And then I'm gonna fall here as far as comfortable. Maybe I'm nice and high up. And in time, with my breath, with my practice, I'll start to come down lower. We're just here for a few breaths. Breathing into the backs of the legs, the hamstrings. Our feet pushing up against an imaginary wall. And if you like, you can rest your head down as well. Then you can relax your feet, relax the knees, relax everything, coming into more of like a yin restorative pose. I'm going to do a few breaths here, just completely relaxed. Every exhale, letting go of that tension. Inhaling, slowly coming up, and we'll move the props over just to the side as we may use them. Okay, can bring the legs together and give them a little pat. I hear you. And we're going to roll on over to our stomach, nice and gently. And if you've got a prop or a folded blanket or a towel, you can grab that. We may use it. Rolling on over. Okay, so I'll start with my right leg. I think you'll be able to see it better. I'm just going to bring it out to the side. Doesn't have to be 90 degrees. And get myself comfortable here. And breathe. I'm feeling a stretch here in the hip, in the glute, and in the side of the leg. So if you want to use a prop, you can put your folded blanket under the leg. I think I'm okay here. If there's any pain or pinching in the back, maybe it's because we're up too high here, so come lower. You can even come all the way to the floor. And keep our relaxed. Keep the leg relaxed. Notice if you're gripping, if you're holding. One more deep breath here. And we'll bring the leg back and we'll rest in center. You can even rest on your hands here, like when we were little. Or rest all the way down on the floor. Relax the legs completely. Okay, now over to the other side, taking the left knee out to the side. Getting comfy here. You might notice a difference on one side and the other. Again, we don't want any pain or pinching in the lower back. So make the adjustments necessary and breathe nice and deeply into the hip. Bringing that leg back in center. And rest here for a moment before we come back up. Slowly making our way up to a comfortable seat. Take your time. Oh, click. Good. See how you feel. See how the legs feel. Excellent. Now we're going to fold our left foot towards the inner of the right leg. Again, we might like to sit up on something here. I'm going to sit up on a folded blanket just to lift my hips up. And what we're going to do is we're going to come forward over this right leg. And we can use cushions here and props to make that more comfy, like this. So as we fold over, it's super restorative. And we're still feeling a nice stretch in the right leg. So you can bring your right toes towards you to face you. If we're not using cushions and props today, we can just come on our hands like this. Back nice and straight, roll the shoulders. Now a bend in the knees perfectly fine, just means we've got tight legs here. We could roll a blanket up and place it underneath to make it more comfortable. And we don't want to be bending knee to head to knee. Like technically it's called Janusirasana, it's a head to knee pose. But when we do like this, we're just recreating that hunched back over the computer pose. So I prefer to keep my heart nice and open here, shoulders back. And maybe one day I'll bring my stomach down to my thigh and my forehead to the shin, but one day in the future, not today. Big breath. Inhale, let's come up. Now let's continue the journey with the left leg all the way over and eventually bringing the knees together. Just move some of my things around. So allowing the knee to drop down. Now that takes time. It might be up here and we might fill up the gap with a block. See how you feel. Now this stretch feels a little bit different as it's more in the glute and the upper hamstrings. So as we start to walk forward, we might feel it right away. Again, trying to lift the heart space, or we can make it more restorative with this kind of block or with cushions. See how you feel. Play around. One more deep breath. As we inhale, slowly coming up, we'll release the pose, relax the legs, allow the feet to flop, maybe come on the hands for a moment, just allow the legs to relax completely. Feel them growing heavy. Or maybe you prefer imagining a lightness, feel the legs light. Them a wiggle, and we'll repeat on the other side, taking the right foot now to the left inner leg. Now if the knee here is super up high, that's fine. We can prop it with blocks or cushions. In time, with hip mobility practice, that knee will come right down, no problem. With or without props here, your choice. We'll creep forward, again bending the knee if there's any tightness in the hamstrings, in the back of the legs. And bringing the toes towards us. A few breaths here. Try and lift the heart space, pull the shoulders back. And inhale, coming up. Continue the journey with the right leg all the way over, knee to knee. Adjust the position, get nice and comfy. And then this time coming forward only slightly. There's a deep stretch in the leg and the glute. And if you like, using a block or a prop for the head. Or trying to encourage the stomach towards the legs. Deep, big belly breaths. Slowly coming all the way back up and releasing the legs. Again, give them a nice rub. Let them feel light or let them feel heavy, depending what you prefer. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Lovely. And we'll start to lie down on our backs now, but before we do, if you have 2 blocks or 2 cushions, you can place them at the bottom of the mat where the feet will go, one for each foot. But that's for a bit later. First of all, we'll just roll on down, maybe with something to support the head and the neck. Maybe giving ourselves a hug or rolling the knees around in circles is really nice for the glutes. Any organic movements that are calling to you, do whatever you please. Maybe just staying still, having a deep breath. Maybe straightening out the legs one at a time. Together we'll meet with both our knees bent, feet on the floor. And we'll bring the right foot over, crossed over the left thigh. Now this is a bus stop, and we can stay here just gently guiding the knee and feeling a stretch. And if we want to go deeper in bus stop 2, we'll bring the ankle towards the chest. We can hold the leg, we can hold around like this. See what works for us. Some days I like this stretch, some days I don't like the stretch at all. So see how you feel. Nice big breaths. Every exhale, you know what to do. Let's do one more deep breath here. Lovely, and replace the left foot on the ground. We'll keep the right leg where it is, but we'll just gently roll on over, keep both shoulders down if possible. We want to bring the right foot towards the ground. So this will take a bit of, but we'll get there eventually. If the foot doesn't touch the floor, no problem. We could place something underneath, or we can just let it hover. And I'm going to use my left hand to kind of hold my right ankle, left and right, and my right hand to push my right knee gently up towards the sky. Depending on my body and my position here, I may be feeling a stretch in the right hip. I'm just gently guiding the knee up here, nothing too strong. Any pain or pinching, we want to come out of the pose gently. One more deep breath. And we'll roll on back. Let's take off the leg and do any organic movements that are calling you. Maybe straightening the legs out long, giving them a pat, giving them a massage. and then we'll meet again. This time the left leg crosses over. We can stay here if that's enough for us today, or we can bring the leg up to the chest. We can make gentle movements here, left to right. Oh yeah, I'm tighter in my left side, definitely. Or maybe we can stay where we're feeling it and breathe into that. And let's continue the journey. So we'll bring the foot down all the way to the ground, or hovering above, holding my ankle with my right hand and using my left to guide the knee slightly more up. Or maybe it's enough without the guiding. I can hold my hip here and breathe. Notice if you're gripping or holding in the face, in the jaw, and let it go. Maybe in the chest. And let's go back to center. Maybe releasing the legs now on the blocks. One foot on each block or cushion, or we don't really need it. It's just a gentle lift. But if we don't have props, it's not a problem at all. Make sure you're nice and comfy in the head and the neck, grabbing any other props if you fancy. I do tend to like my cushion, but I don't have it. So I'll just fold the blanket again. A few breaths here, entering a relaxation part of our practice now. It's super important to relax the legs, relax the whole body really. You can bring the palms face up to the sky. And just take a few moments to focus on nothing but the stomach rising and falling.